I ordered these silicone molds off of Amazon that allow you to easily pour and shape 9 coasters. The next step is to mix both your concrete mix and water in either a large bucket or a large plastic cup. I chose to mix my concrete with my cordless drill and paddle attachment. You can accomplish the exact same thing using something like a wooden stick. The consistency that you're looking for is right between pancake batter and peanut butter. While this next step is not 100% necessary, I always find it easier to spray down the molds with either a mold release or a cheap kitchen cooking spray. After the molds are prepared, you're simply going to pour in your concrete to each individual space. Once your concrete is poured into the molds, you're going to want to use something like a wooden paint stick to scrape off all the excess. Once your molds are completely prepared, you're going to want to let them dry for about 1 or 2 days. It's super important to find a perfectly flat and level space so that the coasters dry in uniform thickness. Once you remove the coasters from the molds, you're still going to notice a couple damp spots. What I did here is set them up on some paint sticks to allow them to fully cure and let all of the moisture evaporate from the concrete. About 1 day later, your concrete coasters are going to be completely cured. You'll notice that there's still some rough edges on it, so the best thing you can do is grab some sandpaper and sand it all off. I started doing this by hand and found that it was taking much too long, so I grabbed my cordless sander and started rounding all the edges off. For this particular application, I used 80 grit and finished it up with 120. This allowed enough coarseness to round all the edges off, but didn't penetrate too far and expose all the aggregate of the concrete. The next step to finish these coasters is to apply a paste wax sealant to prevent any water from leaking into the coaster and causing the concrete to crack. The last step is to apply an adhesive cork backing to prevent the concrete coaster from scratching up your table. Once the backing's on, you're done. These concrete coasters were super easy to make and look great in any setting.